Hi all, this is a brief introduction into using MINITAB. I want to show you the MINITAB environment. Up here you see the drop-down commands. In other words, if you left click on it, you'll get a drop-down menu that you can use. I also want to have you recognize that this window right here is called the Sessions window. And when I left click into it, the upper band becomes darker. Here's the worksheet that looks very much like an Excel worksheet. If I left click into that, did you note that the top bar then became the darker color? So I'm going to go into the Sessions window and left click onto it. Now you'll note when I'm in the Sessions windows, these drop down commands might look a little different. For instance, if I go into the editor, I see this. And in the Sessions window, I want to do what's called enable commands, so I can actually do command lines in MINITAB. Now if I left click into the worksheet and I hit the editor, you'll note that of course you get different editors because this is I'm dealing with where my data would be. So this is just the general worksheet and the Sessions window where I can do my commands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a file that has data in it, and we're going to work with some data, and I'm going to show you some commands and then how to use drop downs also. So I'm going to go into the price of mobile homes and thousands of dollars. If my computer has MINITAB on it and it's a MINITAB worksheet and I can open it up, otherwise the computer won't recognize a MINITAB file. Now when I hit OK, it's going to download some prices for mobile homes and thousands of dollars. Now I'm going to left click into the Sessions window so I can actually do commands if I so desire. So I'm going to do enable commands. Now there's lots of different things that I can do in MINITAB. So I'm going to show one thing. I'm going to actually add in some categorical data and show some things that I can do in MINITAB just to get you used to the environment. So I'm going to put some data in here that's blood type. And the first thing I'm going to give you how a MINITAB command would look. I'm going to say I want to tally column 4, so I do C4, and then I hit a semicolon and enter. Now when I hit a semicolon, that's telling MINITAB, hey, I want you to do something else. So I don't want frequencies, which would be MINITAB's default. I'm going to do percent. And then I end my subcommand with a period. And so now I'll have a table that is a tally of my blood type, but it gives it to me in percents. Now if I had it just like I said, use MINITAB's default, tally C4, and just hit enter, no semicolon, just hit enter, it would have given me counts because that is MINITAB's default. So just like SAS has its default, so does MINITAB. So you can very much program in MINITAB, which is wonderful. But one of the nicest features about MINITAB is the ease of the drop-down commands. So we're going to go in here and look at drop-down commands. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to looking at the prices of mobile homes, and I want to see if that data is normally distributed. So I'm going to make a graph, a probability plot to see if my data is normally distributed. So I'm going to look at the prices of these mobile homes, price 2, and look at its normal probability plot. And MINITAB does a nice thing where it does the 95% confidence lines in here, or kind of arcs, and we see that the data does hug along the line. So there doesn't seem to be any major deviations from normality. But just like in our class that we're going to do, we're always going to want to look at the box plot to make sure that there are no outliers. So I want to do a simple box plot. I hit OK. I say I want to do it of the prices, so I make sure that my cursor is in the graph variable, and I left click on price twice and it'll bring price in there. Otherwise, I could have highlighted it and hit select. Either way would have worked. Now MINITAB's default is a vertical box plot. I generally don't like vertical box plots, so the way we can change that is we hit scale and we hit transpose and hit OK. And when I hit OK, I'm going to see a box plot. And I don't see any asterisk, so I would say my data is there are no major deviations from normality and with no outliers. Therefore, measures of like center and spread would be mean and standard deviation. Plus, as we get further along into our class, I'm going to also be able to use my techniques to get confidence intervals and hypothesis tests. But it's very easy to do that in MINITAB. So if I wanted to do a confidence interval, and we'll learn this also in SAS, I would go into stats, do basic statistics, and just like we have our proc means or proc univariate, well, I could also find some basic descriptive statistics in MINITAB. So I'm going to select my price 2 again, and I can pick the different statistics I might want. So if I want the mean, I'd check it. Now these are all MINITAB's default. So if I don't want to see the standard error of the mean, I'd get rid of it. If I didn't want to see the missing or non-missing, I just want to see end total, I'd put that in there. If I wanted to see my 5-number summary, which is my minimum, my first quartile, my second quartile or my median, my third, and my maximum value, I've got my 5-number summary. If I want to see the interquartile range, I could also do that. So I hit OK, and there I would have my descriptive statistics. If I wanted to do a confidence interval, and I don't know what the standard deviation is, and we'll learn this in class, you do a t-test. So I could do a quick 1-sample t-test, and since my samples are in the column, I left-clicked into there, that's why those prices came in. I'm going to put my prices in here, and I could do a hypothesis test. So I'd go into options, and I'd want, let's say if I wanted a 95% confidence interval, I'd leave it there. That's MINITAB's default. And if I wanted to put in some graphics, I could also do that too. I could get that box plot of the data and then the histogram if I so desire. Don't really want those. I just want to get the confidence interval. In the sessions window, you'll see the 95% confidence interval. And again, like I said, we'll be getting into confidence intervals and hypothesis testing next week. But just wanted to show you some of the power of MINITAB. And so you would understand when I talk about a drop-down command and that type of thing.